Los Angeles, California, June 25th, 2009. The sun is shining. The temperature is 76 degrees with a slight breeze. Blake Griffin is selected by the Clippers in the NBA draft. Late Night with David Letterman has overtaken The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien in the ratings. And the Black Eyed Peas' Boom Boom Pow is dominating the pop charts. But it won't be slow for long. Soon, Charlie's brightest angel will be dead. But as the tributes start rolling in, the king of pop will also take his final bow, upstaging her in the headlines and turning the day into a real thriller. It's Farrah Fawcett versus Michael Jackson, today on Death in Entertainment.
Live from Los Angeles.
911, what is your emergency?
Here in Hollywood now.
2 counts of murder,
Injury and death.
Oh my God!
Shocking new details.
that has stunned the entertainment world.
This makes me a little nervous.
The hair stood up on my arms.
Just like in the movies.
What do you call this thing anyway?
Death in Entertainment.
Greetings, Deado Universe.
Hi!
How the heck are ya?
Feels like it's been a while.
Happy summer.
What have you been up to?
Oh, just cooking. And not burgers or anything, just getting cooked by life in the heat.
Oh yeah, it was a scorching 93 degrees earlier.
Yeah, but we needed it,
We needed it like the rain.
Yeah, that's what
We needed
I have to say dad shit now.
we needed a little more hot, arid climate in
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
Exactly. We've been missing it. What's going on, everybody? My name's Kyle Ploof.
And I'm Alejandro Dowling.
And today we got a scorcher of a podcast for you.
Yeah, this is classic. This is epic.
Yeah.
June 25th, 2009. Where were you?
I was in New York City. New York City?
It was a rhetorical question for the audience.
Oh, yeah. Where were you people?
No, I'm serious. So you were in New York City and
Yes.
you got the...
I was watching the news and was like, holy shit, Farrah Fawcett's dead. And then right after that, I was like, holy shit, Michael Jackson's dead.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, not like I was excited about it. I mean, like, that's incredible kind of thing.
Yeah. Unforgettable.
I was in Chicago working in a real estate office that specialized in foreclosures.
Ooh, making everybody else want to join Farrah and Michael Jackson.
And if you remember 2009, that was the height of the economic downturn.
Yeah, height of the depth.
And we would never be there again, right?
Ooh. I mean, we wouldn't because we don't own houses, but some other people out there I feel for.
Yeah, and then that weekend, I remember Michael Jackson music everywhere in the streets.
Da-na, da-na, bow.
It was awesome.
And nobody gave a shit about Farrah Fawcett,
Oh, come on.
but we will get into that.
But first, we have to warn you that this is a true crime comedy podcast.
Yes. So if you don't like some chuckles, get on out of here.
Make like MJ and beat it.
Beat it! Oh, I like it. Without further ado, let's do it. A Tale of Two Titans.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
You talk about icons. There's a certain picture you have of Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah, and the red, the red bathing suit thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That poster sold something like 6 million copies. And then, of course, MJ.
Yeah. Of course.
They're still talking about him.
Who has other posters.
Farrah Fawcett we're going to start with, though.
Okay.
She was born in Corpus Christi, Texas in 1947. And as we were just mentioning, she's known for her feathered blonde hair.
Feathered.
A lot of guys spent a lot of time looking at her poster,
Yeah. That's all they were doing.
admiring it.
Yes.
Her career began when she was named one of the 10 most beautiful girls on the campus of University of Texas, Austin.
Ah.
That's a very prestigious honor.
It is.
And then a publicist encouraged her to give it a go in Hollywood.
There you go. Well, those are the two places, like California and Texas. Some of the most beautiful women in the country exist.
True, that's where Anna Nicole Smith came from.
Yeah. Like, they're not doing a Miss Boston College.
Right.
It's just like, what's up, you quiz?
There's no Miss Fond du Lac.
Yeah, if you don't think I'm hot, you're gay.
Hey, you want to eat some cheese curds?
Yeah.
And then she met Lee Majors when she got to California. Kids today might not remember. He was a huge star, movie star.
Huge.
They don't make him like that anymore.
No.
And so they got married in 1973, and then she launched her career. So this is pretty similar to Anna Nicole Smith.
Yeah.
Because she met J. Howard Marshall and then her career.
Yeah. I mean, he was a little different.
Well, I'm just saying she had a sugar daddy.
Sure. Yeah.
They both had sugar daddies.
Right.
Fawcett started out in a lot of commercials, and she was doing guest appearances on TV shows. Oh. And back in the day, think about that. Everybody's watching these same shows because there's only like 3 channels.
Yeah.
So if you could get one of those guest spots, you're pretty famous.
Yep.
That's how a lot of people got discovered. Tippi Hedren was in a commercial. Alfred Hitchcock then put her in The Birds.
Oh.
And Jamie Lee Curtis started out in TV.
Yeah.
What?
Because it always seemed to me like she was just like, the final girl from this tiny little independent movie that could, and she made it big. But then we found out she's just a Nepo baby.
Yeah, she's an admitted Nepo baby.
Well, that's good. At least she can admit it.
She said that in her Oscar speech.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her parents, of course, are Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh from Psycho. Mm-hmm. Tony Curtis from Some Like It Hot.
That's right.
That is quite the pedigree.
It is.
And then Fawcett blasted onto TV screens on a regular basis with what show?
The Angels?
Charlie's Angels.
De La Charlie.
This was a sensation. How else can you slice it?
You can't.
You got 3 beautiful women fighting crime.
Meow.
And a lot of 70s disco music.
Hell yeah. Babes and bell bottoms.
And she starred alongside Jacqueline Smith and Kate Jackson. Mm. And none of them had posters that sold 6 million.
No.
So Farrah was truly the breakout star. Yet they were a team.
Yeah.
And when she left the show, it really wasn't the same and didn't last that long afterwards. Similar to Suzanne Summers when she left Three's Company.
Yeah.
People forget sometimes these icons, it only lasted for a short while. Like the star burnt out pretty quickly.
Right.
Charlie's Angels wasn't on for like 6 seasons with Farrah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, she basically became famous, then left.
1 calendar year.
Yeah.
76 to 77. That's crazy.
And then she started posing on calendars.
Hey.
She was also on lunchboxes. There were wigs that copied her hair, pillows with her face on it, and T-shirts.
Yikes. Face pillows. That's, those probably weren't treated very well.
And I see where you're going. They did this a lot in the 70s. I guess you could really mold the culture much easier.
Like you could mold those pillows.
Because this happened with Diane Keaton and Annie Hall. Uh-huh. Everyone dressed like Annie Hall for 5 minutes. Like, oh, I'm kooky and I'm going to wear pants and have funny glasses.
Big old glasses.
And then came the 80s.
Ooh.
Where she became a more serious actress. She did this movie called The Burning Bed, and that was a ratings juggernaut.
Wow.
Where she's an abused woman and then burns her husband to death.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good revenge tale. I like it.
In the 90s, you may recall her starring with Chevy Chase and JTT in Man of the House. You remember that one?
Yes. Yeah.
She was good in that.
Fantastic.
That's a pretty... I'm not going to say underrated. I really can't. But it is something.
Yeah.
It was fine for kids, that movie.
Yeah, it's better than the 2005 movie of the same name with Tommy Lee Jones.
See, that pissed me off. It always pisses me off when a movie comes around and uses the same title
Bullshit.
as another famous movie that came before it.
Yep.
There's only one man of the house.
That's right. And it's Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
That Tommy Lee Jones one looked so dumb.
Yeah.
It made Man of the House look like The Godfather.
Because it is, damn it.
And then she also was in an Altman movie, I want to say in the year 2000.
2000.
Dr. T and the Women, it's called.
Ooh.
That movie is underrated.
Mr. T got an upgrade.
It's definitely underrated. You should check it out.
All right.
Got Andy Richter in the cast.
Oh, very nice.
Helen Hunt, Richard Gere. And it actually shows a baby being born at the end. Like through the vagina. It shows the whole thing.
Oh, boy.
And I don't recall seeing that in a feature film before.
1 out of 5 stars. Do not recommend.
The movie or seeing a live birth?
Seeing a live birth.
Okay. Well, you've seen at least one, I presume.
I have. Don't recommend it.
You didn't have the camcorder handy?
No, they wouldn't let me.
That's smart, I think.
Yeah.
Who would be crazy enough to want to film that anyway?
Well, I wasn't going to film the actual exit. I was going to film the entrance, like from the waist up where they give the baby to us.
Okay.
But they said no.
So that all you see is someone in pain going, "Ah!"
Yeah, so I could slow it down. It's like,
Get a million hits on TikTok with it.
exactly.
Oh, and I forgot to mention The Apostle with Robert Duvall.
Oh.
That was another solid performance from Farrah Fawcett.
Gotta love Duvall.
Yeah, that is a good movie. In 1997, she posed for Playboy
Whoa.
and released a special video.
Ooh.
But she did not go fully nude.
Well, then what's the point?
And then to promote the Playboy stuff, she made an infamous appearance on the David Letterman show for the first time.
Oh, boy.
And she was a little loopy.
Yeah. This seems like a weird audience to promote Playboy to, but, they tried.
Welcome to the show. Very nice of you to be here.
Well, I'm so happy to be here.
Now, you've never been on this program before. You were never on this program before. You were never on the other program we did at the other network. Is there any reason?
You don't remember?
Remember?
Just kidding. No. Let me think. Why?
Why what?
Haven't I been?
I don't know. That's what I had just asked you.
Oh. Well.
How you doing? You all right?
Don't I seem all right?
You seem fine. I know you were kind of harried getting over here. Was there a problem? Was there traffic? Were you
There
stuck
were
somewhere?
people. Lots of people.
Well, that's New York.
People who love me. It's so sweet and blocking and.
Now, what is
So,
that
yeah,
like when you go out, when you travel
goes
around the
on
country
and
and people
on
say,
like
"Oh
this.
my God."
Yeah, you were already saying she was like Anna Nicole Smith, and yeah, she is living up to it again.
Definitely.
Jeez. Little medicated.
Later on, when David Letterman had that infamous Joaquin Phoenix interview, at the end of it, he's like, "Apologies to Farrah Fawcett." They have a kind of chemistry, though.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
They could have been a comedy team.
they could have.
Martin and Lewis, Abbott and Costello, Fawcett and Letterman.
Hey, I'll take it.
So yeah, she just had a, cozy career.
Yeah.
She divorced Lee Majors in the early 1980s.
Oh, sent them to the Lee Miners.
And then she had a long-running on and off relationship with Hollywood's biggest douchebag, Ryan O'Neal.
Oh, no.
This guy is a scumbag. Well, he was a scumbag.
He dead now.
He died recently, last December.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they never married, but it was always Farrah Fawcett and Ryan O'Neal. And they had one kid together named Redman. And that is all kinds of trouble, that boy. He tried to stab a bunch of people in Santa Monica once.
Oh. I mean, who can blame you? People in Santa Monica aren't the nicest people.
I mean, it's pretty sad. He's very deranged from drug abuse and having a horrible father.
Well, that sucks.
But he did have an angel for a mother.
That's right.
All I've heard about Farrah Fawcett is that she was very sweet.
Yeah.
I'll never understand why she was with Ryan O'Neal.
I mean, the nice people out there are marks for the scumbags of the world.
He blamed his kids for everything.
How can you blame you're the one that raised your kids?
He had another kid named Griffin O'Neal. Future episode, Griffin O'Neal one time killed Francis Ford Coppola's son accidentally.
Oh, man.
And so he got into a lot of trouble. Ryan O'Neal has disowned him.
Jesus.
And then Tatum O'Neal is his other kid, and she said that she had a rough childhood and got addicted to drugs around like 10 or 13 years old, that one of those early ages. And he said, I never saw her doing drugs. She had a fantastic childhood.
Yeah, good.
He's one of those guys that gets jealous when their little kid wins an Oscar and he doesn't.
What a fucking loser.
Which is what happened to him. So yeah, I hate this guy.
Loser.
But sadly, Farrah Fawcett was diagnosed with anal cancer in 2006.
That is not a kind you want. Not that you want any, really. But,
No.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
Fawcett chronicled her battle in a documentary called Farrah's Story, which was broadcast in March 2009. So she was one of those that I believe sought holistic treatments. And towards the end, she stopped the aggressive chemotherapy. This is the same thing that Steve Jobs did.
Yep.
And it was too late for both of them.
Yeah.
Here's an ABC News story that covers her cancer battle.
She was a television icon, a blonde bombshell in the truest sense, whose glamour first captivated the American audience in the 1970s. But it was the public role she took on in her final year of life in a network documentary that put a famous face to the kind of battle that plays out for millions of Americans every year.
Cancer is a disease that is mysterious, headstrong, and makes its own rules.
Farrah Fawcett had anal cancer. More than 5,000 new cases are diagnosed every year, affecting more women than men.
I know that everyone will die eventually, but I do not want to die of this disease.
Very brave.
Yeah.
I don't really recommend the treatments she was getting, but you can't say she didn't face it head on.
Yeah.
And always had hope.
I mean, that's admirable.
Yeah.
You have to.
Now we're going to pivot to Michael Jackson, otherwise known as the King of Pop.
King of popping kids' buttholes.
Okay, 1958. Gary. That is not just the name of one of his young pals.
Or SpongeBob's pet.
That is the name of the city that he's from in Indiana.
Gary!
Michael was the seventh child of Joe and Catherine Jackson.
Ooh.
And Joe Jackson would beat him until he spit out a hit song.
Yeah.
And it paid off.
Great guy.
Because in 1969, the Jackson 5 debuted as part of Motown's newest act.
Ooh.
And the single I Want You Back hit #1 on the Billboard charts.
Hell yeah.
Followed by a bunch of hits like
ABC.
The Love You Save, I'll Be There. Ben from the Willard movie about the rat. Yeah. It's a love song to a rat.
A love song to a rat?
Yeah. Then there's 1978 where he played the Scarecrow in The Wiz alongside Diana Ross.
Yes.
Who would be a lifelong friend. And then 1979, Off the Wall was off the charts.
Hello!
Off the chain. You know what I'm saying?
To the moon!
And then we got 1982, which gave us what?
Thriller night. Dum, 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 dum.
The biggest album of the decade, selling 100 million copies.
Of almost all time, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's still, like, played all the time.
Yeah.
People can't get enough. Even if you believe all the child molestation allegations, you still listen to Human Nature.
Still get down to the boogie.
Yeah.
Blame it on the boogie.
The Girl Is Mine is a little weird, but
Yeah?
it's a duet with Paul McCartney.
Oh.
But they're singing like they're grade schoolers or something, fighting over this girl.
Oh.
You don't know that one?
So The Boy Is Mine is a ripoff of that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The Girl Is Mine.
Oh.
1984, we covered this on our Commercials of Death episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
You can find it wherever you get your podcast, Death and Entertainment. Michael Jackson caught fire. And I'm not talking about his career. I'm talking about his scalp.
Ow!
Filming a Pepsi commercial, a stunt gone wrong. And for the rest of his life, he wore wigs after that.
Which I had no idea.
You really thought that was his real hair?
I thought the Blair Witch Project was real, and I thought Michael Jackson's hair was real.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
All right.
My whole life. Interesting fact. I don't know if we talked about this. I probably mentioned it on the other episode that we talked about. That day his hair caught fire was the exact middle day of his life. He lived as many days before as he did as many days till his death.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is quite a fact.
Middle of MJ's life.
I wonder which half he preferred.
Probably when he had hair.
But then he was an unhappy kid.
Yeah.
Maybe 1982 if he could just bottle that.
He lived 9,282 days until that day, and then he lived exactly 9,282 days after that.
That is
crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
I tried to strike him down.
Makes you think about what everyone's middle day is.
Yeah.
I think this is it for me.
Yeah.
To quote Michael Jackson.
That was after he touched his last kid.
Oh, man.
I think this is it for me. I'm going to jail now. Just kidding. I'm going to dance on this car.
And starting, I thought you were going to say kid.
Yeah, I'm going to dance on this kid.
And starting at the end of the 80s, this is where he really started becoming Wacko Jacko in the press.
Yeah.
Because he tried to buy the remains of the Elephant Man. And then he would sleep in a hyperbaric chamber. And he had a monkey named Bubbles.
Bubbles.
These aren't exactly normal things that your neighbor Jim is doing.
No.
But then he also releases Bad, which is not bad at all.
Hello.
It's a great album, too.
Is this thing on?
Man in the Mirror.
Ooh.
That sold 8 million copies.
Mm-hmm. And it allowed Weird Al to come out with one of my favorite songs of his, Who's Fat? Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that really made Weird Al, too. And Michael Jackson was very cool about him doing the parodies.
Yeah.
Unlike Coolio, who wasn't so Coolio about it.
Did not get it.
He did later on.
Yeah.
Then he died, too. Anyway.
Future episode.
1991, Dangerous. A lot of sales. Black or white. That's not what people were asking when they were looking at Michael. That's one of his singles.
Hello.
Dangerous is also the label he's starting to get when he's left alone with children.
Wow.
And in 1993, it starts to unravel. He starts off cool with a big interview with Oprah Winfrey, where it's the first time he addresses his vitiligo condition that makes him white.
Vitiligo.
Then he was sued by this family, Jordy Chandler. They said there were some nefarious activities. Do you want to elaborate, Kyle?
Vitiligo to his house.
So it was a big, awful lawsuit. Everyone was shocked. Like, could Michael really be into diddling little kids?
Yeah.
Then in 1994, he settled the case. This is the thing everyone asks. Like, why did he pay 15 to 20 million to the family if he was innocent? Well, Michael explained it that he didn't want to go through the court process where anything can happen when you leave it up to a jury.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Sure.
All right? But then he marries Lisa Marie Presley. Some thought to distract from the lawsuit.
Yeah.
And some thought it was true love. I think it's 98% versus 1%.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was an arranged entertainment industry marriage.
And we've talked about that great Diane Sawyer interview with the both of them.
Oh, God.
Where she's like, I didn't marry him to get a recording career. And then he gives her bunny ears and says, I would love to sing with you.
Yeah.
It's one of the best things ever.
Yeah, it was very odd.
It's right up there, I would say, that interview with the Gayle King, R. Kelly.
Oh, wow.
The Jussie Smollett, Robin Roberts.
Lying on me.
96, MJ files for divorce from Lisa Marie Presley, and then he marries some nurse named Debbie Rowe. I don't know what the fuck was up with Debbie Rowe. She suddenly came into the picture and she gave him those kids. They got married. Like, who the fuck is Debbie Rowe?
I have no idea.
She's suddenly Michael Jackson's wife. Like, did they consummate that marriage? Like, what was the courtship like?
Well, yeah, they did.
Did they go to the movies?
She had Paris and Prince.
All right. Well, some people say that maybe he jerked off into a cup.
Oh.
I didn't say it. You didn't hear it from me.
Because he wasn't into women?
1997, he's inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. By 1999, the romance is over.
Row your boat.
And
out of here.
They go to Splitsville.
Hey.
2001, Michael tries to bounce back with the Invincible album. It sold a couple million copies, had a couple of minor hits.
I'm invincible.
Is that how it went? I can't even think about it right now.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Oh, okay. No, he had one. What was the big single? Chris Tucker was in the video. Invincible. It was like, I wanna rock with you. No, that's his old one.
No.
Something with you, I think.
Oh, you rock my world.
Oh, yeah. It was kind of catchy. I would bounce along to that while flipping burgers at the Pumpin' Pantry.
Pumpin' Pantry.
That's when it was big on the radio. It did get a lot of radio play.
Yeah.
At the same time that they were playing, I'm like a bird, gonna fly away. And then coincidentally, also when this was on the charts. Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Alien Ant Farm.
Good cover.
Great cover.
The problem with Invincible is it was perceived as a flop. The critics were savage, and they claim his sales were way down. Of course, they were compared to all his other albums, which set records, but how can you keep that up forever?
Man, Entertainment Weekly gave him a C-. The Guardian, 2 out of 5 stars. Rolling Stone, 1 out of 5 stars.
Oh, God.
Pow, take that.
Poor Michael.
Michael.
In 2002, his third child, Prince Blanket II, I don't know what the fuck his name is, was born, and Debbie Rowe was not the mother. He's never revealed who the mother was.
Oh.
And this is also the year that he hung that baby over a hotel room balcony in Berlin.
That's fun.
So that his German fan base could get a better look.
Yeah. That was very creepy.
And his dear friend Elizabeth Taylor defended him on TV, saying, that was outrageous the way they attacked Michael for that. He had the baby secure.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off.
He's not going to drop a kid.
He was holding that baby like a half-drank water bottle. Come on.
Yeah.
What did he do to all those old Hollywood legends that became his best friend? Because he also was BFFs with Liza Minnelli. Remember that wedding?
Oh, yeah.
Where she married that weird record producer.
And he was pissed.
David Guest.
Yeah.
And there was that photo that made all the headlines with Elizabeth Taylor, Michael Jackson, and then Liza and David. Yeah. It was like, look at this grotesque affair. Then trouble did not stop. It just amped up. In February 2003, Michael was seen in the documentary Living with Michael Jackson, which aired on ITV and ABC. It was presented by interviewer Martin Bashir.
Martin.
Let's get a little taste of that.
Why are you talking to me to the...
You got an impression there?
Why are you talking to me like this, Martin? I just want to share a bed.
Here he starts off talking about how much fun he had with the Culkins.
Oh, boy.
Macaulay Culkin's on this side. His sister's in there. We're all just jamming the bed. And we wake up like dawn and go in a hot air balloon. You know, we have the footage. I have all that footage.
But is that right, Michael?
It's very right. It's very loving. That's what the world needs now. More love, more
the world needs
heart.
A man who's 44 sleeping in a bed with children.
No, you're making it all wrong.
Well, tell me, help me.
Because what's wrong with sharing a love? You don't sleep with your kids or some other kid who needs love, who didn't have a good childhood?
No, I don't. I would never dream of sleeping.
I would.
I would never dream.
Because you've never been where I've been mentally.
What do you think people would say if I said, well, I've invited some of my daughter's friends round or my son's friends round and they're going to sleep in the bed with me tonight?
That's fine.
What do you think their parents would say?
If they're wacky, they would say you can't. But if you're...
I can't.
What the fuck?
We could listen to that all day.
Yeah, my kid will never be sleeping in your bed. The fuck are you talking about? If they're wacky.
And he stood his ground.
I mean, if he really believes that and it's like really that innocent to him, then...
It's the best thing in the world. And then he went on 60 Minutes another time. Ed Bradley's like, with all the allegations and the new trial, which I'm about to get into, today, would you still sleep with a little kid in your bed that's not your own? And then Michael takes a second to think about it. And then he goes, yes.
Yeah.
Chris Rock had a bit about that. Like, it's the easiest softball question to answer.
Yeah.
Just say no. And he's like, yes. Why, yes. It's the sweetest thing in the world to sleep with a little kid.
Oh, man.
It's love. It's nothing but love. And remember, we now know that he was smoking weed with Aaron Carter around this time.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. He woke up in his underwear and I told him go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. Some things are best left forgotten.
Okay.
And then get this. Did you know about this? A rebuttal to this documentary aired on Fox called The Michael Jackson Interview, the footage you were never meant to see.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hosted by Maury Povich.
No, I didn't know that.
So this version, it was like the same interviews, but shot with Michael Jackson's team.
Oh, man.
So it showed Martin Bashir being nicer to him behind the scenes.
Ooh.
Before he pounced on him in that final interview.
So they're trying to hit up Martin's reputation.
A little bit.
Martin.
And then in 2003, he was sued by a boy that appeared alongside him in that documentary, Gavin Aviso.
Ooh.
Who was under 14 at the time of the alleged crime. So this was a big trial and blah, blah, blah. The mom of the boy, they say, lost it in the end. Like she wasn't credible on the stand.
Mm.
And so in 2005, Jackson was acquitted of all charges.
Wow.
And he left Neverland, never to return there again.
Wow.
This is where his later life is just sad because he doesn't sleep very much. He has a lot of anxiety. He has $500 million in debt. The trial basically destroyed his reputation, even though he was acquitted. But still, it's like, I'll go back to Chris Rock again. He's like, people liked his music so much, they gave him a pass on the first kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Another one?
It's true.
So anyway, he had to deal with all that. And by 2009, he's like, all right, I got to get out of debt and I got to restore my good name. So then he announces a series of comeback concerts. The tour is going to be called This Is It.
This is it.
And it's going to be something like 50 concerts at the O2 Arena in London.
Oh, it's all at the O2 Arena?
Yeah. Originally, it was supposed to be spread around Europe some more, but that was the final incarnation of this tour, that it was going to be 50 shows in London.
Damn.
And this is him announcing it.
These...
And the crowd's going wild.
These will be my final show performances in London.
He seems drugged out.
Oh, yeah.
This will be it. This is it. And when I say this is it, it really means this is it. Because,
Because I'm gonna die. Wow.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I guess I can see how the hair is not real at this point.
Oh, really?
As an adult looking back.
Doesn't look like you could just pop it off. John Travolta's hair looked realer than this.
Yeah, it's true.
This is it. Maybe not the greatest name for a concert tour when you're not very healthy.
Well, that's better than Show Me Yours.
He should have called it I'm Gonna Live Forever.
Yeah. Followed by I'll show you mine. I'm showing them my heart, Martin.
It's beautiful.
Not my wrinkly balls.
We're all beautiful.
Show me your butthole.
That tickles. So this was going to be his first big tour since 1997.
Yeah.
Then he was going to retire, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
That's never true, though. Cher has had 10 farewell tours.
Yeah.
And I'm so damn happy that she was bluffing each time. You know what I mean?
Bring out those assless chaps again, baby.
Gypsies, tramps, and thieves. So 50 dates, that's just monumental. That's a lot of dates.
One for every state.
To perform. That's true.
Yep.
Wow. Also, the age he was when he passed.
Oh, no.
And the concerts were going to run from July 13th, 2009 to March 6th, 2010. Jackson moved to Los Angeles to prepare for these shows. He moved to the affluent community of Holmby Hills.
Holmby.
And he rented a mansion. So now he's renting. This always boggles my mind. Can you help me out with this? Rich people that rent mansions.
Yeah.
Why not just buy a house?
Because if you got $50 million in the bank, then paying, $20,000 a month seems like nothing.
I guess, yeah, it was going to be for a short time.
And you don't have to replace anything that breaks or anything, It is what it is.
You don't have to clean up the dead people.
Yeah.
He hired Kenny Ortega, director of Hocus Pocus.
Oh.
And High School Musical.
Very nice.
So he's got this is a big player here.
Huge.
To direct his tour.
Yeah.
Rehearsals took place at the Forum and the Staples Center, which were owned at the time by AEG. Jackson's finally ready to get out of debt. All is well in the universe. Except it wasn't.
Bum, bum, bum.
By June 2009, he was starting to deteriorate physically. People were starting to question his health. There was one sighting of him in a wheelchair wearing a surgical mask the year before. People were like, who is that old, frail-looking woman?
Oh, boy.
And it was just Michael Jackson.
It's Michael.
That brings us to the night of June 24th, 2009. Jackson rehearsed for his upcoming show as usual. Now we get to June 25th, 2009. Farrah Fawcett, after a long and brave battle with anal cancer, dies at 2:28 a.m. at age 62 at St. John's Health Center, Santa Monica, California. I don't know why he said California.
There's people out there that probably don't know.
And she was surrounded by Ryan O'Neal, which, I mean, that kind of sucks, but I guess she liked the guy.
Sure.
And maybe he supported her. I think she was the only one in this world that Ryan O'Neal liked. Maybe Ally McGraw, his love story co-star too.
Could be.
But other than that, so I could see how the courtship kind of saved both of them at times.
Yeah.
And then also by her side was Alana Stewart, former wife of Rod.
Ah.
And she's the one who made the documentary about her cancer battle. As the morning progresses, let's take a look at some of the headlines that are dominating the news cycle. Won't you join me?
Join me, Nen.
June 25th, 2009 was one of those days that things just quickly got eclipsed. We were covering a tragedy in Iran and the attempts at a revolution.
What's going on in Iran is massive, mostly peaceful protests over the alleged stealing of an election.
In the U.S. Capitol, a political storm erupts over a groundbreaking climate change bill.
We've been talking about this issue for decades, and now's the time to finally act.
South Carolina has literally lost its governor.
Once you get to a certain level of importance, particularly in public service, it's sort of hard to disappear. That makes the disappearance of Governor Mark Sanford extra weird.
All of these headlines collide on June 25th.
That narrator sounded like Morgan Freeman. Stories collide. June 25th.
June 25th. That sounded like Kevin Spacey.
Okay. Me or the video?
You.
All right. Thanks, I guess.
Stories collide. And you loved every second of it.
Oh, in that Let Me Be Frank video.
Yeah.
You believed all the rumors, didn't you?
You want them to be true.
You didn't even question one of them. Now feel my hand on your nutsack. June 25th, 2009. We're well into the morning now, Kyle.
Yeah.
We don't know it yet, but Farrah Fawcett has died.
Mm-hmm.
Are you with me?
I'm with you.
And if you listen to the teaser, you already know that Blake Griffin was selected by the Clippers in the NBA draft. Any thoughts?
Very nice. Good pick.
Yeah, he turned out to be quite the star, too.
And a future Celtic.
Yes, and not a bad roaster.
Yeah, no, he's...
He kind of does some comedy.
Yeah, he's been at the Comedy Store. I've seen him over there a few times.
And?
You know.
All right. Got it.
He gets a lot of stage time.
David Letterman was on top of late night. Conan had just taken over the Tonight Show for his brief run, and that was his first summer. And that's when his bad press was starting because people were like, wow, Letterman beat you?
Yeah.
Because for some reason, Leno beat Letterman for years, and I'll never understand.
You don't understand?
Take that, Letterman. Oh, that didn't even sound like Leno. It's been a while. Let me dust off my Leno. Hey, Kevin, you see this?
Hey, I beat him in the shop again.
Conan can't even beat Letterman. That was easy. I could do it with my eyes closed.
There we go. It's back.
Black Eyed Peas, Boom Boom Pow, annoying everybody.
Boom Boom Pow, these chickens jacking my style.
And then, just when you thought you were done with the Black Eyed Peas that year, they come out with, tonight's gonna be a good night.
Yeah, that's a great one.
And Transformers Revenge of the Fallen broke box office records the night before. Second to The Dark Knight at the time. The Dark Knight beat it for opening night the year before.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we are in pop culture. And now, late into the morning, word is starting to spread about Farrah Fawcett's death. Paparazzi confronts Ryan O'Neal outside the hospital.
Hey, Ryan, how's Farrah? Hey, Ryan, how's Farrah? Is she okay?
How's she doing?
Farrah's gone. Oh, my God.
She's gone, Brian? How are you doing?
I'm sorry.
So there you have it. He confirms it right there. Farrah's gone.
Wow. That is rough.
Yeah.
He did have his window down, though.
Well, yeah, he told them.
Yeah.
He offered that.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, it wasn't exactly paparazzi abuse.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a Alec Baldwin situation.
Right.
Where he's going to throw the camera on the ground and call the guy the F slur.
Excuse me.
Or call his wife.
Yeah. She's from Spain. And you're about to feel the pain.
Oh, boy. And then here we have TMZ confirming it. Farrah Fawcett dies. So they learned at 9:28 a.m. about it.
7 hours late.
So Redman, oh, this is tragic. He couldn't be by her side because he was in jail.
Well, fuck around. Find out.
And Ryan O'Neal kept teasing the press that he was going to marry Farrah, and they never ended up getting married. Whatever, right?
Yeah.
To each their own.
Sure.
Said the farmer as he kissed the cow.
Moo.
Farrah's former Charlie's Angels co-star Kate Jackson had this to say, quote, she was a selfless person who loved her family and friends with all her heart. And what a big heart it was. Farrah showed immense courage and grace through her illness and was an inspiration to those around her. By now, you must be wondering what's going on over in Holmby Hills.
Can't be anything good.
Michael Jackson's personal physician got the news about Farrah Fawcett, presumably, but that's not on his mind because Dr. Conrad Murray finds Jackson unresponsive in his bedroom. He's not breathing, there's a weak pulse. So he administers CPR, but that isn't doing anything. Then Michael's heart stops. Security calls 911 at 12:22 p.m. Pacific time, and paramedics arrive 3 minutes later. Jackson is transferred to UCLA Medical Center, And at this point, word starts spreading about MJ.
Yep.
Good afternoon from CBS News. This is Newsbreak. Pop star Michael Jackson reportedly has been rushed to a Los Angeles hospital. Word is he was not breathing when paramedics arrived. Jackson is 50 years old. Former poster girl and Charlie's Angel star Farrah Fawcett died today of cancer. She was 62. Longtime companion Ryan O'Neal was at her side.
Well, yeah, so him being hospitalized led, and then they were like, oh, by the way, Farrah Fawcett's dead.
Yeah.
So she was already getting boxed out.
Oh, I see. So she would have been boxed out anyway.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just him being hospitalized was more newsworthy than him being dead.
Well, that's not fair. Let's see what's going on at CNN.
We're getting some breaking news coming into the situation right now from about Michael Jackson, the king of pop, who's 50 years old. Let's go to Deborah Farrick. She's working the story for us.
Wolf Blitzer is so excited. We have some breaking news about Michael Jackson.
From the Michael Jackson.
What are we picking up, Deb?
Well, Wolf, here's what we can tell you. This is what's being reported by KTLA. Apparently, Michael Jackson suffered cardiac arrest this afternoon. He was rushed to UCLA Medical Center.
At 12:21 this afternoon, the Los Angeles 911 operators took a call in regards to a need for a medical emergency at the 100 block of Candlewood Drive, which is in West Los Angeles. When the paramedics got on scene, they treated the patient and then immediately transported the patient to UCLA.
We just talked to Brian Oxman. He is the family attorney for the Jackson, and he says that according to Randy Jackson, Michael Jackson's brother, Michael Jackson collapsed in his home in West Los Angeles this morning, and they called paramedics. He says that the family is either at UCLA Medical Center or en route to UCLA Medical Center.
Do you think he did like the smooth criminal fall forward and they're like, oh, he's going to pop back up and just slammed his face on the ground?
I'm sure you never expect that Michael Jackson's gone for good.
Yeah.
He seemed like he had multiple lives. I mean, he survived that Pepsi thing.
Yeah.
He survived the Ed Bradley interview.
Yeah.
He can survive this.
I can survive anything.
So now TMZ is reporting as well the cardiac arrest. We've just learned Michael Jackson was taken by ambulance to a hospital in Los Angeles. This is what was going on all day. Were you refreshing TMZ that day? I definitely remember I was.
I was not. I just remember watching TV and seeing it pop up in the afternoon and was like, oh, shit.
Oh, so you weren't really paying attention?
No, I had heard Farrah Fawcett died. And then actually a high school friend of mine died as well this day.
What?
Yeah. So that's what I remember really focusing on. And then I was like, what the fuck? Michael Jackson's dead too? Like, what is going on today?
Wow.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot of facts at this point, but that didn't stop Wolf Blitzer from speculating.
CNN sources are now saying, multiple sources, that Michael Jackson is in a coma at UCLA Medical Center, suffered from cardiac arrest, and is now in a coma.
If you look at the aerials that you're showing on air and you see the number of people that have already gathered outside the hospital, if that isn't testament to the star power of Michael Jackson, I don't know what is.
A coma?
Yeah.
He was not in a coma.
His
heart stopped.
Yeah.
Come on, Wolf.
Well, you know, they can only report what they're told.
Well, all right. And then TMZ was one of the first to call it. Michael Jackson dies. He was 50 years old. And half his life ago, his hair was on fire.
Half a life ago, yeah?
Yeah, so they say paramedics arrived and Jackson had no pulse, and then they never got a pulse back.
Wow.
Isn't that what dying is?
I believe so.
I mean, what is going on here? This idiot at TMZ is just typing really fast. Yeah, so they were on it. And then finally, Wolf Blitzer can contain himself when he can confirm this.
Frothing.
And we're just getting this in right now, and it's very, very sad news. Jim Moray, and to all of our viewers, both the Los Angeles Times and CBS News are both now reporting that Michael Jackson has died. Now, CNN has not confirmed that, but the LA Times and CBS News are reporting that Michael Jackson, 50 years old, the king of pop, has died. A very, very sad moment.
So CNN, a news organization, gets its news from other news organizations.
Yeah, the news gets its news from the news.
Okay. This is like election night.
What else is news?
We cannot confirm that Al Gore has won Florida.
Yeah, nobody could.
But we heard it might have happened.
What was Michael Jackson doing in Los Angeles before he was taken to the hospital? What new information do you have for us?
Well, we do know that he's been in Los Angeles preparing to undertake this major concert event that he was scheduled to perform in London
I have to stop you for a second, AJ. CNN can now confirm from the LA coroner that Michael Jackson is dead.
So what was the coroner playing favorites?
I guess.
Why couldn't CNN confirm it?
Give me a little tip.
They had to wait to interrupt somebody to confirm it.
You want to be first, don't you?
So why did Michael Jackson die? Turns out his doctor, Dr. Conrad Murray, had given Jackson meds to help him sleep.
Well, Mr. Conrad Murray now, because
right.
He's got no more doctor's license, but let's not get too far ahead.
Jackson's cause of death was ruled cardiac arrest brought on by mixing propofol and benzos.
Oopsies.
So I don't know about you, but when I can't sleep, I pop a melatonin.
Yeah.
I don't hook up to a tank of propofol.
Propofol is what people get for anesthesia that for surgeries.
That's wild to go to sleep. I mean, that's not even a rest.
If you get multiple surgeries in your life, just the anesthesia from the few handful of surgeries you get, have an effect on the rest of your life.
And it's extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
That's how Joan Rivers died, from the anesthesia.
Exactly. And he was doing it every single night.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Maybe he thought it was like his oxygen chamber.
I don't know.
But then a doctor's giving it to him. This is like Elvis, too.
Yep.
With Dr. Nick.
Dr. Nick.
Oh, it must be healthy because a doctor is approving it.
Yeah.
And monitoring me.
Monitoring, yeah. I don't know about that.
Conrad Murray was later convicted of involuntary manslaughter in 2011. And that will be a future episode. We're going to dive deeper into this case.
Yeah.
This is a little bit of a tease.
Yes.
We're focusing more on this momentous day.
The day. It lives in infamy.
So let's take to the streets for a second and see how people are reacting.
What murder?
Michael Jackson. Yeah. He just passed away. Yeah. See that?
Who? Michael Jackson just died.
Heart attack. Heart attack. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, I can't leave. We're outside, but
yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Fucking idiot.
Get the fuck out of here.
We're outside, so I can't.
That's similar to the comedy stylings of Blake Griffin, I presume.
Yeah, I guess.
That is how it goes in the streets, though, isn't it? When something like that happens. Like, did you hear Michael Jackson died? And you can talk to somebody at CVS.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, what? And then you bond for a minute over it.
Yeah, I was in New York City when Robin Williams died. And it was everybody on the street was just talking about it. Cab drivers we had.
Yep.
People on the train. It was nuts.
In my real estate foreclosure office, I was like, did you hear Michael Jackson died? They were like, shut up, get back to work. Go kick another tenant out.
Yeah.
Go get rid of another squatter.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, there was definitely a buzz. So how did Martin Bashir react to the news? What do you think?
I think he was somber.
You think?
Very.
All right, let's see.
Certainly when I made the documentary, there was a small part of that which contained a controversy concerning his relationship with other young people. But the truth is that he was never convicted of any crime. I never saw any wrongdoing myself. And whilst his lifestyle may have been a bit unorthodox, I don't believe it was criminal. And I think the world has now lost the greatest entertainer it's probably ever known.
A small part.
Boy, is that backtracking or what?
Ooh, he's moonwalking.
Yeah, like that was a huge deal. Yeah. And it probably caused that whole trial to happen.
Right.
now when he dies, he's like, it was just a small little detail.
Yeah.
In an otherwise very flattering documentary.
Let me take that nail out of the coffin.
And I know what you're thinking. What did Larry King have to say about this?
So you're dead, right, Michael?
That means you're through. You're finished, right?
Would you like to share your final rest with children?
Now, you decided to die, right? That was your decision. Larry, what am I telling you? No, I did not choose to die. Now touch me.
When you're up, you're easy pickings. And of course now, I don't think we will ever know. There'll be lots, I fear what's coming now. Stories about what Michael Jackson did to me and my arrangement with Michael Jackson. The tabloids next week are going to be horror stories. And I think in this realm of a little calmness, let us miss what was his talent. What he gave us was his talent. And since that's all we know to be proof, let's just look at that. He gave us his talent, and we sure like that.
May he rest in peace. Thank you very much, Larry.
We sure like that.
What did he see at 10 years in advance screening of Leaving Neverland?
Yeah.
He knew. Look, did you notice that?
He did.
Everyone else that day was saying, R.I.P. Michael, and then singing along to his songs. He was the greatest entertainer. And Larry's like, look, a lot of people are going to say a lot of things, but let's focus on the good stuff.
There's going to be stories of horror.
Vigils sprang up everywhere, including outside Jackson's home in Gary and at the Apollo Theater in New York, where the Jackson 5 used to perform. And I guess people were Googling the name Michael Jackson a lot that day, and at first Google thought that it was the work of cyber terrorists.
Huh.
Like it was some kind of attack because it was all happening at once and kind of
Michael Jackson.
messing up the webosphere, whatever you want to call it.
Wow.
And then there were also a bunch of people outside the hospital singing and near the house where Jackson was renting, blasting his music. And I'm sure that was going on in New York where you were, and it certainly was going on in Chicago where I was.
Yep.
Now, you know how deaths always come in threes?
Yes.
Well, that applies to this day as well. Sky Saxon, lead singer of The Seeds, died unexpectedly in Austin, Texas from heart failure due to an untreated infection that had spread throughout his body.
Jeez.
He was 71 years old.
Man.
And to remind you, The Seeds were an awesome 60s psychedelic rock band with roots in LA. They're best known for the popular tracks Pushin' Too Hard.
That's what I'm known for.
I thought that was one of MJ's songs. And Mr. Farmer, which was on the Almost Famous soundtrack, you may remember.
Very nice.
Really good stuff, The Seeds.
Nice.
I love psychedelic rock, though.
Hell yeah.
At the time of his death, he had been scheduled to go on a tour all over North America, and it was going to be called the California 66 Tour, referring to the year 1966, of course.
And Route 66, maybe.
Oh, okay. Or Buffalo 66.
Hey.
Which was also the year 1966. It was going to feature The Seeds, of course, and then the Electric Prunes and Love.
And the California Raisins.
Yeah, that's the ripoff. Yeah. The Electric Prunes. And then there's the Flamin' Bananas.
Then you're pushing. You don't have to push too hard if you have some of the Electric Prunes.
That's true. Sky Saxon told the Austin Chronicle only 1 week earlier, quote, I don't believe in death. There is no death. In a higher understanding, none of us die. We leave our body. We're going from one room to another room. Once you realize there's no death, then you live forever.
Hell yeah, brother.
Billy Corgan was good friends with him and praised his musical prowess.
Wow.
And called him a spiritual warrior.
Goddamn.
As for Michael Jackson, a star-studded memorial was held at the Staples Center on July 7th, 2009, and thousands of fans attended it. It was also streamed, and at the time, it was one of the most streamed live events ever.
Wow.
A lot of people performed. John Mayer did Human Nature. Jennifer Hudson did the Free Willy song.
Oh, nice. I love that song.
Who doesn't?
Oh, me. If you need me.
At the time Leaving Neverland came out, someone said to me, I kind of believe the guys, but you're never going to take the Free Willy song away from me.
Amen to that.
And this memorial is mainly remembered for this moment where people heard from his daughter, Paris Jackson, for the very first time.
Ever since I was born, Daddy has been the best father you could ever imagine. And I just wanted to say I love him so much.
Consoled by Aunt Janet.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's rough.
You're teary-eyed.
A little bit.
Wow, that got you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think it showed that he wasn't just a freak show.
Right.
He actually was a parent, and he loved his kids, and they loved him.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever you want to say.
It got me.
It did. Do you need a moment?
No, I'm good.
Okay. There's some paper towels here, too.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
It's not breaking out.
You know, I'm moved that you're moved.
That's right.
Farrah Fawcett, a private funeral. Yeah, that's what everyone said that day.
Yeah.
Did you hear about Farrah Fawcett? They're like, what? Michael Jackson died. Who gives a... A private funeral was held for her in L.A. on June 30th, 2009. This is cool. Her son Redmond was permitted to leave the detention center.
Oh, well, isn't that nice?
In order to attend the funeral.
I'm not going to tear up for that.
And he gave the first reading. And then he tried to stab everybody.
Yeah. Good guy.
Fawcett was interred at the Westwood Village Memorial Park in L.A. next to none other than Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, I tell you.
Welcome aboard, Farrah.
Dance of the Dead. Oh.
In March 2010, the Oscars upset her family and friends when they failed to include her in the In Memoriam montage.
Oh, no respect.
No, I set that up. Yeah, that is no respect.
Very much so.
Her best friend, Alana Stewart, who made the cancer documentary, told CNN, quote, "It was such an odd coincidence that she and Michael Jackson should die just within hours of each other. It's amazing that something like that could happen." And she liked to think that Fawcett would have found it funny. Quote, "I always had the sense that Farrah would kind of be getting a laugh out of that and saying, thank God they're over there, finally. They're leaving me alone.
Yeah.
The paparazzi, the reporters, the news cameras."
That's awesome.
And that is the end of June 25th, 2009.
Yeah, what a day.
That brings us to...
Final thoughts.
I ended up going to... I had tickets already to go to the Jimmy Fallon, Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. And everyone there, they had Erykah Badu, they had the Roots, and they were all dressed up as Michael Jackson. And it was the day after Michael Jackson died. And he had cut like this huge monologue saying, you know, everyone wants to be the first person to tell you when a celebrity dies. So everybody during the breaks came up and told me, you know, Michael Jackson died, and blah, blah, blah. And he made sure to say Farrah Fawcett also died.
Oh, yeah.
But they did pay tribute to Michael Jackson by playing all of his songs between every guest.
Oh, that's nice.
So it was pretty cool. Yeah.
He didn't do an impression?
No.
Guys, check this out.
Yeah. You want to see this? Yeah, and then laughing hysterically at himself.
Yeah, so have we had a day like this since then?
I don't think so, where we had like two real titans that have died the same day.
There was just something about it.
Yeah.
That the Robin Williams was a good comparison. An icon that everybody can relate to somehow.
Yeah.
And can feel the loss on some level.
Right. Yeah, that's why I don't get upset. What people say all the time, like, oh, when celebrities die, people make it all about themselves. But it's like, no, they're sharing stories about this person who affected their life.
It's true.
I think that's completely valid.
When else are you supposed to say that?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like we're supposed to forget about everybody? No.
Yeah, it's just a time, too, that people can kind of come together.
Yeah, exactly.
And dance to Michael Jackson.
Right. Don't stop till you get enough.
And people could not get enough.
No.
Oh, wait, do you hear that?
You've got mail.
Well, we've got a whole bunch of mail. There's been a few people have seen that you can text the show now, so we've had a number of people text the show.
I didn't even know that you could text the show.
Oh, yeah, it's right there on Spotify. You can click the link, text the show, and then boom, you could text us immediately.
Oh, wow. Can you sext?
I'm sure you could. We haven't got that yet, so, we still have hope.
Yeah. Although there is one review actually I want to dig up here. It just reminded me, but you go ahead.
Okay, from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hey, found your podcast during the Ben episodes. Stuck around because I love your show and really dig the format and charisma. Thanks for having a great show that keeps me distracted between songwriting and the doldrums of the 9 to 5. Amazing stuff. That's from Lee of the band Black Star Nebula in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So thank you, Lee.
Thank you so much. Charisma, no less.
Hey.
Wow.
From Missouri, someone wrote, I have an outside of Six Flags story. My nephew was leaving around 10 p.m. and on the highway, there was a girl walking in traffic. My nephew and his friend were trying to get her out of the road when a semi hit the girl and splattered her all over my nephew. Found out a few weeks later the girl was a cousin of one of my brother's friends.
Aye.
So that is an outside of Six Flags story based on the episode we did on Six Flags.
Wow.
Virginia texted us, hey guys. That's it.
Okay, hey. Hey, Virginia.
And then from Davis, California, Jenny says, hi guys, just wanted to say I love your show. I've been binging off and on for a couple months. You make me laugh and you do a great job on the topics you cover. Thanks for keeping me company and making me laugh. Thank you, Jenny.
And you're welcome.
Jenny.
And let's go from off and on to on and on.
Hello.
No, but we appreciate whatever time you give us.
Yes.
Because we just want to entertain you.
That's right.
That brings us to the last review in the mailbag. This is one I'm very excited about.
Oh.
Anna commented on the Six Flags episode.
Nice.
I just realized I find Alejandro's voice mysterious and sexy, and I needed to confess to a bunch of strangers. That made my year, my life.
Day, your week, or even your year.
My infinity.
Wow. Alejandro with the sexy voice.
Hello out there in Deado World.
Deado Universe.
How y'all doing? Thanks for listening to this episode about Michael Jackson and Farrah Fawcett. Don't you dare forget about Farrah Fawcett.
ASMR.
Oh yeah, we should start an ASMR channel.
Where we whisper about how everyone's dead.
This is Michael Jackson. Can you give me some more of that blanket? Come here, little boy.
That's the police.
Macaulay Culkin goes, who is it? It's Michael. I brought the hot cocoa.
Oh, boy.
Oh, little boy.
Yeah.
Do we have any other business to attend to?
I don't think so. I think, we got some more summer action coming for you guys.
Oh, my God. We have a bunch of episodes coming.
Yes.
So stay tuned. It's good to be back, and it's hot out, but you know what? This podcast is hot too, so.
Hey, scorching.
Might as well just accept it.
Might as well do it.
And until next week.
Do not go dying on us.
Bye.